Good evening. For 68 years, no one knew who he was. He was buried at Punch Bowl, another unknown casualty of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. But modern technology has allowed U.S. Navy Fireman Third Class Gerald George Lehman to finally go home. KITV4's Shane Enright spoke to Lehman's nephew in Michigan. Shane, is this the closure the family longed for?
Pam, it is the closure they never knew they would have. But today, more than 1,000 people gathered to pay their respects.
Dressed in their uniforms, sailors carried Gerald Lehman's casket through the Church of the Resurrection in Hancock, Michigan.
Funerals are usually a sad situation, but for us, our family, this was a very joyous occasion because we've been waiting to get him back for all those years.
For 75-year-old John Harris, Lehman's nephew and only surviving relative to ever know the sailor, today was a day of celebration. At 6 years old, Harris listened to the radio broadcast the December 7th, 1941 Pearl Harbor bombing.
You could hear the planes flying by and bombs blowing up and all that. And then he started describing, he said the Arizona had just blown up and Oklahoma was capsized.
429 sailors and Marines died aboard the USS Oklahoma. Only a few dozen were ever identified. The rest, including Lehman, were buried at the National Memorial of the Pacific at the Punch Bowl Cemetery. Now, 68 years later, Lehman's family buried their loved one.
It's closure, that's what we wanted.
The closure came through mail. Cherished letters that were kept by the family to remember their son turned out to be the key to his identification, as DNA was taken from the envelopes he sent home to his mother.
She'd cut the end off and then slide the letter out. So where he had licked it was still sealed, and that's how he was identified.
Here's this marker right here.
Pearl Harbor's chief historian Daniel Martinez paid his respects to Lehman at the USS Oklahoma's memorial.
These casualties mean something to, their families and to the nation. They're part of our national memory.
Lehman's remains were escorted home by the military. Through science and research, Martinez hopes more families will too have closure.
I think perhaps this will not be the last one, and perhaps other people will be inspired, but maybe, just maybe, they can find their unknown and identify them.
Lehman's mother died believing her son would someday return home.
One of these days, the doorbell will ring and you'll run to the door and he'll be there in his Navy uniform. Well, as far as I was concerned, I told my relatives today, I said, the doorbell rang today. He's back. We got him.
Lehman was buried alongside his mother, father, and 2 sisters. He was only 18 years old. Reporting live, Shane Enright, KITV4 News.